चक्कर है? क्या चक्कर है? क्या चक्कर है? तू तू सोया भी नहीं होगा, मैं सो के उठ भी गया हूँ। इज दैट सो? चक्कर आ गए। हरामी हूँ जी, इसमें हरामी क्या है? नींद ठीक करो अपनी। That's what I was doing. Yesterday I didn't do anything. No नहीं, I did coffee and I was still lethargic, but I had chole bhature. Chole bhature basically fixes your sleep. Crazy. गन्नी मेरी जान, सोना नहीं। आज नहीं सोऊंगा ना। नहीं सो जा, मैं तो कह रहा हूँ मतलब कि just eat a plate of chole bhature. छोले भटूरे खा ले, सब ठीक हो जाएगा। फूड कोमा में जाते हो ना तो एक दिन पूरा ऐसा लगता है बस कि अब आप सो सकते हो। तो बन रहे होंगे फ्रेश, यस। हम थोड़े से सुबह सुबह थोड़ा सोचा कि थोड़ा चेस खेली जाए। कल इतनी टट्टी किया मैं, उसकी सपने आ रहे थे। तो मैंने बोला माइट इज वेल डू अ कॉफ़ी रहना। अभी कॉफ़ी लिया जा, लेट्स प्ले, लेट्स वॉच सम न्यूज़। मीम्स देखे जाए, मीम्स देखेंगे पहले। मीम्स में इतना एडिक्शन नहीं रखते, पहले कॉफ़ी पियेंगे। आ जा, अपने लिए लिया, मेरी तो बनी हुई है। मतलब बना ले, मैं कह रहा हूँ। पानी डाल, 1 चम्मच कॉफ़ी डाल, बस सारे कुत्ते खुल जाएंगे। सारे कुत्ते खुल जाएंगे। बना ले, अभी बना ले। सिस्टम ने आवाज़ करनी शुरू कर दी यार, पता नहीं क्यों, क्या हो गया बच्चों। दोबारा एक बारी ब्लोअर मारना पड़ेगा। फिर मुझे भैंस की नाइटमेयर्स आए इसके, बहुत ही गलत। यस। Oh my gosh. Nothing scares me anymore. Kiss me hard before you go. Summer died in sadness. I just wanted you to know. Blah 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 blah. थोड़ी सी न्यूज़ पढ़ते हैं, न्यूज़ पढ़ के फिर चलेंगे। न्यूज़ कहाँ पढ़ता है? मोबाइल पे आती होगी ना नोटिफिकेशन। अच्छा, ऐसा ऐसा क्या? बेकार है सारे। नहीं मतलब कुछ तो पढ़ता होगा लल्लू। बेकार तो ठीक है, बेकार मैंने डिसएग्री नहीं किया। करंट अफेयर्स ही तो बेकार है और क्या है बेकार में कभी कभी काम गया। करंट अफेयर्स ही तो सबसे ज़्यादा बेकार है इसके, ना उसमें करंट है ना अफेयर है कुछ। जूते बनाने की मशीन बना रखी है भाई। मैनू हवा दे नाल करा दे तू अज गल्लां नी। रीजनिंग अपडेटेड है। अपडेटेड मतलब पुरानी किताब। मैं समझा नहीं तुसी की कहना चाह रहे हो। ओहो ये तो वो ले गया और मैंने इसे फोर्क भी दे दिया। क्या मैं काटूं? फिर मैं काटूं तो फिर ये काटूं तो ये काटूं तो वो काटूं। ये सीधा चेक मारने की कोशिश में है, वो मैं देना नहीं चाहता। साला नो प्रॉब्लम। अब तो कैसे बचाएगा लेकिन। न्यू एडिशन के हिसाब से ऐड ऑन होते रहते किधर? लाइक आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट flipboard.com or something else? Cut nahi yaar, yes, very nice. अगर ये रानी चला अब चले गए। हमारा बहुत फैला हुआ है एम्पायर। कवर राजा अभी नहीं, अभी रुक जा। कवर तो क्या है उसके पास, तो पूरी जगह है, 25 एकड़ की ज़मीन है उसके पास। I think अब going forward we'll have to focus on YouTube a little. तो कब तक कर पाएंगे? अगर जीपीयू बीच में बोल गया तो थैंक यू रहेगा। तो घोड़ा तो नहीं जाएगा लेकिन इसकी रानी ज़रूर जाएगी इन टू स्टूपिड मूव्स। उफ। got my red dress on tonight, dancing in the dark and the beautiful lights. Acha, 10 minutes is for the blitz sort of a thing. If you play a move in 10 less than 5 seconds, basically get extra time. Is that so? I've never Googled or anything. I just figured it out. चल ना भांगड़ू. शादी होगी यार. इस लल्लू को दिख नहीं रहा है ये फोर्क या क्या है? राइट घोड़ा F4. F4 नहीं जाएगा भाई, F3 जाएगा. इतनी लंबी छलांगे नहीं मारता है वो. अभी I'm getting a fork, which I never liked anyway in the first place. बहन का घोड़ा. घोड़ा मेरी बहन ने गिफ्ट किया था. Now see, what I want to do is basically take one of these. तो ये आएगा इधर, इधर से आके इधर चेक, इधर तो मारेगा नहीं बेवकूफ़ों की तरह, बट इधर से इधर तक मार सकता है. थिंकिंग कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ा दिया. नाउ मोरे तो आगे करूँ हैं. Now he can take either this or this, right? So that being a case, he also wants to threaten this. दोनों में से एक लेके जाएगा. तो I want to make sure कि at least ये तो बचा रहे, ये यहाँ से प्रोटेक्ट करता है, then he would not be able to do anything. पूरी क्वीन के सामने हाथी लगाओ. क्वीन को चलो क्वीन के सामने हाथी लगा दो. अरे नहीं बाबू देख, you see the fork that I've created. Now let's do this. Let's try. इधर चलेगा तो मरेगा. क्वीन के सामने हाथी लगा दो. ये वाला बोल रहा था. DA B5 B5 ये हाथी का B1 लाऊं और सीधे ठोक दो. नहीं, actually you were right about this. If this goes there, then we can go here. But again, makes no sense, no? Hold it there. Now he cannot check me. I cannot move this one out either. हाथी तो घोड़े से भी सेफ है ना. I want to make a move. हाथी भी सेफ रहेगा घोड़े से. I just have to take the minister out. Almost the same way. D6. D6. ये क्या रखूं मैं? हाथी घोड़े से सेफ नहीं है. घोड़ा इतना ही चलता है बाबा. 1 2 ढाई. 3 ढाई नहीं चलेगा. नहीं. D7 नहीं. D5 होता है. If you were asking, घोड़ा कहाँ तक जाएगा? ये this. देख मैं उसे चेक भी मारता हूँ ना. तो फड्डा यही है कि वो हाथी से काट के ख़त्म करेगा. बट अभी तो चीज़ें सेफ है. D5. D5 में कुछ बचता नहीं है ना. समझ लक्ष्मण. इसको मैं इधर लेके जाता हूँ D7. देन आई कैन प्ले दिस. बट दैट्स दैट. इतने में वो कुछ भी कर सकता है. पहले तो इसका हॉर्स काटो. हॉर्स नहीं कट सकता ना. ये देख कवर है. बहुत ही घटिया ट्रेड होएगा. वो चलेगा ही चलेगा. अब मैं यहाँ पे भी नहीं ला सकता. सो दैट बीइंग दिस इशू. बिशप से हॉर्स कैसे काटूं? This is the safest move so far. That gets me closer to my result. घोड़ा खाएगा ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा. खा. नहीं. कवर पे वो चला जाएगा. अभी वो बचा हुआ. दिस इज ऑल्सो अ कवर राइट नाउ एंड सेफ. If I make this cover, there is literally nothing backing this up. You're asking me to put it here, right? And I was here. तो वो चला जाएगा और कुछ बचेगा भी नहीं. अभी it's safe. We'll play safe moves. अब गया. So. वो बोर्ड खा जाएगा मेरा ऐसे. That way I'm forcing him. Is not. आरती से कम सिपाही खाओ. अब देख. I move this, and he still won't be able to do shit. Except for either moving this or ये किया इसने. अब मेरा वो मिस होता है. अभी मेरा घोड़ा खाने की उसमें है. कौन सा? ये तो चाल मॉडिफाई होगी. लेफ्ट से कोई थ्रेट नहीं था. या बैकअप नहीं था ना. बैकअप भी तो ज़रूरी है. तो मैं इसको चेक मार सकता हूँ. आगे मूव कर दे प्लीज़. एक कदम. नहीं कर सकता. एक कदम स्वच्छता की ओर प्लीज़. ये कांग्रेस का निकला. कदम भी चले गए. कोई नहीं. कभी इसी के तरीके से समझाएंगे. फिर उसको लगा मैं चेक दूंगा. मैं चेक का मेरे पास टाइम तो है नहीं. कर तू मिनिस्टर मुनुस्टर. देखिए ज़रा. ये देख. जुत्ती है ना. बिना देखे समझे सोचे. काट तू बहन चोद. अब ये गाली खाएगा. थोड़ी लाइट्स बनानी चाहिए थी मुझे. मेरे को कॉफ़ी पीने में भी मज़ा आ रहा है. बस बाकी चीज़ें चाहिए. राजा नहीं चाहिए. आई नो. He was attacking that बिना सोचे समझे. But he was playing well until he fucked up with that move. Could have done well. इसको पहले मूव कर देता. I would have been forced to do things that I was not supposed to do anyway. मिनिस्टर वर्सेस मिनिस्टर वाला तो बेवकूफ़ी है ना. This is a poor game. सब चीज़ें राज ले जाओ घोड़े के बीच में. हाँ सही. हाँ यही वाला. That makes it this attacks cover. हाँ यही बकचोदी मुझे पसंद नहीं है ज़िंदगी में. चलो ये करते हैं. कर तू थ्रेट. अभी करूँगा. ले ना पॉन उठा ख़त्म कर. बेवकूफ़ कहीं का. मतलब इतने चतुराई से खेल रहे थे अभी ये. अब इतने घबराई से खेल रहे हैं. This pawn is under threat by this guy, but nope. Now he plays it. Genius. Please move one step forward, na. Very chatur ghoda. Now, if he does this, I get a check. If he does this, I get a check too. See? Oh, now I'm in a fork. He still gets it here. But I'll still lose a horse. Regardless. Take a dagger. Summertime sadness. Ratata summertime sadness. Oh, oh, oh. Ding, 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 ding. अब मेरे पास बचा ही क्या है, फक दिस, खत्म करना है यार. हम करता रहे. पूरा बोर्ड खा लिया. दो क्वींस भी लेकर आ जाएगा, कब तक करेगा ये. करता रहे. कोने में लेके जाएगा. ये बचता है उसके बाद. Top guesser out of one? What is that guessing? Anyway, that was a good game. लंबी चली. I got my termined. What is this flare? Smart. Smart. सारे यूएसए वाले जागे हैं अभी. इसकी फुल आ रही है, मेरी भी फुल आ रही है. वाओ, वेरी लो लैग. आओ. कर क्या रहा है?
Before you marry a person, you should first make them use a computer with a slow internet connection to see who they really are.
You're actually telling other people how to marry me. This is so accurate. You're actually telling other people how to marry me. This is super accurate, man. I am the worst person. I'm the worst person if there is some shitty connection there. I mean, if there is even the slightest slow internet से तो माथा फोड़ ही जाएगा. साथ में बाकी की बकैती है अलग. बाकी की सारी बकैती है instantly available. I know, like box man. Yes. Ain't gonna lie. ये छोटा लिल बेन क्यों लग रहा है? I want you na 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 na. Oh my gosh. Move the queen. और दे. ये किया इसने. मेरे को करना था इसके साथ. चमत्कार. चमत्कार करना था मुझे इसके साथ. I feel evil. क्या ये चूतिया है? हैं? अब इसके पास इसका तो कोई बैकअप नहीं है. अब कैसे खेलेगा ये? तो सुबह ऐसे गाने सुनते हुए आपको शोभा नहीं देते भाई साहब. बट YouTube ऑन कर लो और उसके बाद फिर लज्जा आती है. बढ़िया. और बढ़िया। इन्हें तो भाई साहब ने अपने कटवाया। मैंने मुफ्त में दे दिया वैसे ये। कुछ तो करना था इसके साथ। अब वो उसको लेके जाएगा। वहां से तो वो तो ब्लॉक्ड है ही। कोई मूव्स बचे थे मेरे पास यार। This guy is good.
A priest asks the convicted murderer at the electric chair, "Do you have any last requests?" "Yes," replies the murderer. "Can you please hold my hand?"
Yes. That's the worst and the best one. The guy is really smart, man. Good one. Hmm. Hey, thanks a lot, man. One thing I feel bad about is I can't threaten his queen right now. I've already attacked it. And he has given me a chance to. Why? He foresaw better. What? He foresaw something that I didn't. And he made game blunders. So why was this a blunder? To eventually win a queen. I was not doing that, no. How is that a blunder? I played my cards well still. BS. Sometimes I don't understand these engines. Call me Droopy. Droopy. इतना सोच रहा हूँ मैं. कॉफी और पी जाए. दूध मंगाया था, दूध. 1 घंटा तो हो गया खेलते हुए भी. सुबह सुबह खेलने में बड़ा मजा आता है. माइंड फ्रेश हो जाता है एकदम. फ्रेश. माइंड फ्रेश. अरे अटैक करने का था. एक मंगलू. जब सुबह सुबह दिमाग लगाओ और कॉफी पियो ना, बहन टट्टी बड़ी बड़ी आती है. कभी हुआ तुम्हारे लोगों के साथ? मुझे पता था यही करेगा बेवकूफ. मतलब दिमाग लगता है कि साथ ही भागो भैंस बाथरूम में. मस्त एकदम. और जो क्या टट्टी आती है भाई, अब एंड पॉइंट तक.
Option 1. Let's eat grandma. Option 2. Let's eat grandma. There you have it. Proof that punctuation saves lives.
I really appreciate you putting it out there, man. And this uncle right now, Arale Govila Gazale, is basically not letting me know what exactly to do with whatever he's telling me to do. Nice. Good one. Lolale. I know, right? Banjo. यार ये ना काट के ना इतना बुरा लगता है ना, वो इसको काटेगा. भिंडी ले ये गलत टाइम पे ड्रूपी. यू मेड मी पूपी. जल्दी कर ले यार, टट्टी आ गई भैंचो. हिल भी नहीं रहा हूं. गधा कहीं का. I can't even pause the timer. That's just unfair. और 10 मिनट तक रोक के रखनी पड़ेगी यार. जल्दी कर रे बाबा.
Proof that we don't understand death is that we give dead people a pillow.
Come to think of it. Yes. Yes. This is a nice one. But interesting. Come to think of it. Wait. What did he do? रुक गई तो रुक ही जाएगी. Yeah. बहुत ही सही टाइमिंग है यार. यही था ना. If I go here तो कोई पॉइंट ही नहीं है. If I go here back again तो कोई पॉइंट नहीं है. बोलो तो टेक्टोनिक प्लेट्स मूव करवा दें. यार 2 मिनट में बहस की आंख. 2 मिनट लूज ही करने पड़ेंगे ना. क्या करें हम. फटाफट खेलेंगे. आ गया मैं, रुक जाओ. Sleep cycle is fixed. Oh. I'm playing on PC. I was just in the toilet. Why is this guy playing so poorly? I could not leave this game behind. It's so bad. It's good. Well, all he helped me do is this. मुझे पता था. वो तो जानबूझ के भी नहीं लेगा बेटा. It was so bad that it was good. Nice. What's happening, Ghost? Welcome back, man. Where have you been? Beautiful face. Poopala. Yes. What's up? Thanks a lot. Bro. The worst part is that you sometimes have to take working right now? What are you? 50-year-old? One side. Carlos Mestre. Carlose. Did you see the new pop review? The before but no. The Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia review. Oh no, yeah, we have to watch after this game. That's something that we need to watch plus current affairs. Gaming, current affairs, music, and pop culture, current affairs, music, and what? And memes, of course. Memes that we have seen. Memes that we will see. And memes that we have to make. We have some capabilities of animation as well, right? So now we can put them to use. Let's try. We'll have some fun. What do you think? Uh-huh. You don't say. Jaldi. Carry cheese. The चूतिया है. ये क्यों राजमा चावल क्यों बना रहा है इस टाइम पे सुबह सुबह? बट मन भी कर रहा है अब खाने का. If you want to know more about current affairs, I suggest Mignard. Who is that person? Ignored. लफड़ेबाजियां. And he's pushing me to basically get his horse right now. Should I give up the dream of a horse? Because see, this is one. Because he's now challenged me. Now I was thinking of this and then this. That's a better game, right? I lose. Yes, please do, man. We're just given we cannot do a lot of content on gaming right now. Like we were just playing video games. We were having fun though. A bishop for a horse. Okay, fuck this. Oh, he's ready. Oh, he was ready. But I have no options but to get his horse as well now. G8 take घोड़ा. G8 हैं? हाँ नहीं. G8 पे तो हाथी है. Right, bishop. You mean this? Move hathi. E4. Yeah, bishop, right? So this camel, bishop. उसका मैं क्या करूं? वहां से ये भी तो है ना, जबरदस्ती जाएगा. जाना तो है. जाने वाले को कोई नहीं रोक सकता. बहुत ही सस्ता. मेरे को सस्ता ट्रेड नहीं चाहिए. That is the thing. When I can actually put it back. I just realized. Now that I have place. नहीं मेरी बात नहीं समझ रहे. This goes. This both of them are already there. This and this, they're already there. Now take left घोड़ा. हाँ वही. But if I take the left Goda, if I take the left Goda from this, then Rani is there. Now I want to secure my move with something. But I don't have anything right now. Bishop. See, the one bishop can be on white, the other bishop can only be on left. On black. Sorry. So I can't counter. One for attack, left one. This one for attack. Nahi na babu. This can only travel on white squares. This can only travel on black squares. So I do not have anything to secure this attack from queen if I take that horse. Which is why we have to play the game for keeps. Now what is keeps? Say I challenge his nothing right now. How can I take his right horse? ये इधर है ना, तो फिर ये इधर ऐसे जाएगा. लफड़ेबाजियाँ. Now this fool is challenging me for no reason whatsoever, but I have to take care of that too. Ah. I don't have to secure this. D6. What? इस पे यहाँ पे कुछ है ही नहीं. D6 bishop, wait, pawn. नहीं फिर वो देखिए ले जाएगा ना, ये ले जाएगा. It is the worst part. If I move it here, then I secure my pawn, which is already secured by a queen anyway. So I don't have to care much. Plus thing, which is why I have to challenge something without challenging anything at all. But see, chess mein, what you have to do is make every move count. So that's always going to be the case. Now if he tries to even think of moving towards this one, it's already there. कोई बेवकूफ कोई वैसे नहीं दिख रहा था ये. लाल परांदे. जल्ली सिंह. Take his left horse with what? With bishop? I'm still not secure, na? That is the funniest bit. From this one, yeah. But अभी भी सिक्योर नहीं है ना बाबू. मेरे दो चीज़ें जाएंगी ज़बरदस्ती की अगर मैं चैलेंज कर दिया तो. Challenge this. By F6. ये वाला. अभी मैं सिपाही को उसमें नहीं रखूँगा. सिपाही is covering a lot of shit. But I'll tell you why. You're not wrong. But what's up? Yo. You're not wrong, but this one will basically create a dilemma for this bishop. Dilemma is not what we are looking for right now. I wanted this, but this guy also comes in. Now, see? Now he's playing his cards, right? Now, if I play this, यहाँ पे जो इतनी भीड़ और जमावड़ा खड़ा हो गया है ये वाला कर सकते हैं. Advantage to take his हाथी. Which one? ये इधर आता है. हाथी comes, he makes a silly mistake. He would not do that. But it is also covered by a ghoda. Then also he loses a hathi and a ghoda. Come to think of it, that's not a bad rate at all. But what if we challenge this one? Let's do this. Once he plays his Ghoda right, then I can move my king. अब नहीं है advantage. अभी भी है. अभी भी same advantage है. अब in fact, if he moves his Ghoda to either this or that, then I can also move this here. No, sorry, this here. And now you see, person has created a ruckus for himself. The gridlock situation. Booma boom. Booma boom. If I move my pawn here, this threatens this. This guy can't kill me. at all. And he is forced to either move here or there or here. Left to right, this one. I mean, that's an unnecessary move. He had to get his king. Simple. He cannot even move his Ghoda right now. Carlos Mestre. Mestre. Ah. So if I move it here, I have a backup. He cannot cut this. He can cut this. So I'll create a fork for him. Horse and then queen for this. हाथी से सिपाही लो या बट सिपाही काट देंगे ना बाबू आके दोनों. मेरी बात नहीं समझे समझ रहे हो. दोनों आके काट देंगे, फायदा क्या है. यहाँ से घोड़ा काट देगा इसको. The only good trade that right now becomes a thing to put it so back. We cannot. पर आपकी क्वीन बाहर नहीं है. I know. मेरी बात समझ. मेरे पास बैकअप नहीं बचेगा if I keep sacrificing bishops. So I can't. Right now, I have both his bishops. कोई नहीं. एक pawn ही गया ना. Cost is far less. Bishop to b3. Bishop to b3. This. Still no backup. Wait, I think I'll have to set it up. बहन हो, पूरा बहन हो ही रात में. तो पता था वही करने, वो वाला वाली बकचोदी करेगा. देख अब चूतिया हरकत करी ना इसने. कि मैं इसको लेके जाऊं, अभी कुछ कर भी ना पाए। पर इसके पास अभी हाथी है। लेके जा, खत्म कर। You don't really want to play this out like that, huh? Are you blind? Hmm. No, it's a check made into. No, it's not. Yeah. Abhi he doesn't have a lot of moves left. Except for these. Thank you for doing that for me. He played my game instead of his. Nice. जल्दी खेलने का नतीजा देख लो ऐसे होता है खून सवार चीतिया है भाई मेरे से बहुत ज्यादा स्कोर है इसका यार ऐसे मत बोल थैंक्स मैन They see me rolling. Basically, he's thinking that I will let him use his pawns. Cut. नंगा कर दिया. I know. I know, right? Oh fuck no. I shouldn't have done that. Should have I? Oh Meg, what would I have done? I made a silly mistake. I should have not from there but from here. Shit. चल अब कोने में ये करता रहे. This was move camel. No. Yes. Why yes. Carry cheese. बहुत मथाया यार इसने. मैं वो हॉर्स वाला गलत खेल दिया. लास्ट मोमेंट पे भी गलत खेल रहा हूँ. मतलब शर्म आनी चाहिए वैसे. आई थिंक बट दिस इज चेस फॉर स्टार्टर्स. Restarters, I think. I'm literally getting back to chess after 7 years. Alex Clash. Wanna be? Who is this guy? And why? Where is Ghost? Oh, this guy, Make Nerd. He's
like Roblox, the sandbox allows.
One thing that I like about this guy, he's good, but he's too far on the criticism and how do I say it? Too far left, opposition, not. The new law can shut down YouTube journalists. How? What is the whole point of this? Oh, he has a YouTube channel and we are also on YouTube. So we'll watch this after in the post YouTube segment. So now in this खाना खाने.
Post published an article titled Facing Pressure in India, Netflix and Amazon Back Down on Daring Films. It talks about how the state machinery was used against filmmakers like Anurag Kashyap, executives of OTT platforms like Amazon Prime, to spread an atmosphere of fear in the overall industry. Anything and everything, even slightly critical of the establishment, will be met with Virat Hindu mobs kind of trolling you. Cases will be filed against you and the police will act post haste to even arrest you. If you make the
That's how democracy works. Oh, not the mobs bit. Mob bit is crazy. Mobs is not how it's supposed to be. But people will express their discontentment if you're actually stepping on their foot. Regardless. And by that, it also means that only people who are the tidiest will basically merge on top. And tidy is not just for the looks of it, but also the sounds of it.
The current establishment, which is the large
फैक्ट है. आप पे केस भी तभी हो सकता है ना जब आप गलती कर सकते हो. मतलब ये थोड़ी कि आप मुझे बोल रहे हो कि अनुराग कश्यप कैन नॉट हैंडल कोर्ट फीस और लॉयर फीस. He can. And I like his journalism as well. Like, I don't know if he's completely anti-establishment, but whatever I've read of his tweets, he's practically been anti-establishment until his friends come to power. So he can or he cannot. Nobody can decide. That's what. No, you see, for example, if I say something anti-establishment, I have to be genuinely constructively critical about it, right? So for example, if I say something that is not good about the Modi regime, कौन बढ़िया बंदा है? What are we talking about? Anurag Kashyap. You're talking about Anurag Kashyap being बढ़िया बंदा.
Your Modi cult uncomfortable.
See, the kind of journalism that is supposed to be there, you can't call it a cult. Journalism is supposed to be collecting facts and serving it to the people and then letting them decide how it works. Now, these days, journalism has become a point where why should I do this and why should I do that? And it also has come from different big journalists as well who have made a point where, there are certain places where they have absolutely given up the whole idea of journalism. So when I'm talking about these big ones, when I'm talking about, say, Arindam, sorry, what is that? Nation wants to know. Who's this person? Arnab Goswami. My bad. Sorry. Arnab Goswami, for example. He is clearly plain stale editorial drugstore. Yes. Plain stale journalism is what is not part of their thing. No. I like the fact that there are certain people who are still continuing to do this, who continue to do this. Basically, उसका मुझे भी भेज रखा है. We'll watch it. So there are certain people who would basically. This fucker has gone inside now. That loud. कल तो बेंच बिल्कुल सर के बाहर, घर के बाहर हो रहा था ये. आवाज आ रही है घर घर घर. चला गया अंदर ही. शुक्र है भाई, ड्रिल मशीन लगा के बैंग 2 दिन दिमाग खा लिया इसने. आएगी भी आएगी. He's focusing now. He's coming. He's started to come out. Yeah. So Arnab Goswami, he doesn't like reporting stale. He's driving opinions. Arnab is part of the code. It's possible that way, but people have done that. Yeah. The reportage has also come down to a point where if it's not absolute facts, you can later say sorry. But there should be a 3 strikes. Thank you. As well. And it's not part of the Janta to decide. It's part of the rules set by Janta to decide कि अगर कोई जर्नलिस्ट है जिसने बकचोदी करनी ही है इतनी कि भैया वो फैक्ट्स रिपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा है बट स्मेयर वर्ड यूज कर रहा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कल्ट है या मोदी कल्ट फॉर एग्जाम्पल. And it's you're calling it a cult, and now you can say that you're calling it a cult out of sheer structure of it, which I can understand why. But what if but using cult and then people using cult again, it's in the negative connotation. Ramni cult of land. Gee man. So वही है ना, मतलब जिस तरीके की शब्दावली यूज़ करोगे उस हिसाब से होगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल समबडी टेल्स मी कि भैया मैं तेरे से ज़्यादा पढ़ा लिखा हूँ, तो होगा भाई, बट लगे थोड़ी कि तू उसको उस लाइट में बोलेगा या उसकी किसी गलत लाइट में बोलेगा. दैट्स दैट.
there will be consequences.
ज़्यादा पढ़ा लिखा हो सकता है, इससे मतलब ये थोड़ी बुद्धि यूज़ करनी बंद कर देगा, तब भी पैंटीज बेचता हूँ.
There were shows like AIB's Government, which starred late Irfan Khan, which were canned. Other movies and shows in production, which were even completed, were also canned and.
You also have to understand the timing, the sheer timing of it, right? So I mean, if people are starting government because they want to take down the establishment, or you want to drive an opinion against the establishment, it's because you wanted it. If you're doing something that is a balanced approach, people will have nothing to stop you from it. But it's only leaned against a four. That's how the divide becomes bigger. And we want to have a sustainable lifestyle. We are not those guys who would lean to left or right, center, whatever. We're just those guys who would require certain ratifications out of our single vote at our level, and that's that. We are not Ambanis that we need big favors. No. But for that we need proper introduction. मतलब आप हमें गलत चीज़ पकड़ाओगे तो हम गलत चीज़ की बात कर रहे होंगे, नहीं चलेगा ना ऐसे. तो आप गवर्नमेंट एंटी गवर्नमेंट वगैरह कुछ बोलो, कोई भी. इनफैक्ट दिस वर्क्स फॉर मनमोहन सिंग्स गवर्नमेंट एज वेल. प्लेबॉय धीरू भाई, हाउ डू यू से दैट? अरे क्या बोल रहा है? He's late now. Why make fun of the dead? Anyway.
And just didn't see the light of the day. These were all shows that touched on social and political issues in India. When
Political issues अगर अभी कोई बना देगा ना, अभी किसी ने, you also have to understand, not, I mean, how many, just tell me, just plain honestly, how many people have tried making anything positive or negative about Rahul Gandhi so far? Why does everybody want to go anti-Modi only? Apparently, the opposition's face is still Rahul Gandhi. Am I wrong? Because all living will be dead at a point. Of course. But they've passed on. They've left the battlefield of all this mockery. So let them rest. Also, the battlefields it's crazy how people address life as battlefield, but it is something that we don't need forward to. Hello. एक सेकंड. You can see your tail moving by the way. Okay. You see your tail moving. What are we saying? Who likes Rahul Gandhi? Man is useless. Did the useless march? Who looks at that and goes, yeah, that march was. Who looks at that march and goes, yeah, that march has meaning? See, it's the worst kind of on ground campaigning that is there. So, as much as they like launching their digital campaigns or digital conversations, यहाँ पे हमारे यहीं पर ही है. There are certain female appointed or Congress members who basically know everything else but how to deal with people. They know how to buy people off, but they don't know. That is the worst approach in the history of approach. That is that. I am not anti-establishment. I want to have a dialogue which basically gets us somewhere. A sustainable approach. Neither of the anti-establishment. Neither am I against Congress nor against BJP. No. Not against any AAP, in fact, but AAP strategy of implementation of all the subsidies and everything else has been fuck all. Has been fuck all, right? So I just cannot figure out why can't they think properly. People have not exactly approved of that, but that's just sad. Anyway, moving on to the next part, where when Gandhi did it, it was still useless. Some people do love him for Alu Dalu Sola Nikalo. Yeah. We've been trying to find out who to vote for, but none of the candidates have an online presence. See, online presence will never be the part of your vote. It should never be the part of your vote. It's something that how much, let's just ask a very simple question. How much out of 100% would you keep for yourself and the rest for somebody else? If you earn 100 rupees, for example, how much would you keep for yourself? And how much would you give out to people as part of social welfare? It's a very simple mathematics. Let's just, out of 100 rupees, tell me. Not goes in taxes. What you keep for yourself goes, a bit of it goes in taxes, but you can also save those in up till a certain point. Fuck taxes for a bit. Okay? Now, out of 100 rupees, how much would you keep for yourself? And how much would you give out to people? ₹2 mere, 4 tumhare. Next serious question. Out of 100 rupees, how much would you spend on yourself? And how much would you spend on people's welfare? Which does not include you. The welfare I'm providing to the country is the tax I pay. Why does it matter? Okay. Fair enough. How much would you pay taxes out of that? Nah, I'm talking about out of 100 rupees. How much are you are you willing to pay as tax? Whether now that we've given up the idea of doing that, you're paying 0 for welfare. Basically, that would be charity. That is basically a 80G, right? And out of that, out of the 0 completely welfare oriented fund, that's 0, correct? Now you're on to taxes. Now you want to pay 0 tax. You personally are good about 15 rupees to pay out as tax, or 100 or 0 rupees. Decide which one's better for you. I'm not talking about central or state right now. I'm just talking about plain simple. You're good out of 100 rupees. You're good for paying taxes, which is 15 rupees, correct? Most of the 15 rupees is not enough to bring about the change you want to see in your own country. Do we agree? Anyway. There are problems that are infrastructure oriented. There are problems that are logistically dependent. There are infrastructures that are so there are problems that are just plain social issues. 15 rupees is enough, right? At your level, if you're earning 100 rupees, it's enough. You're fine with 15 rupees. Now, that goes into government's kitty, and if it gets balanced out by people who are earning more. So if people are earning more, or if they are creating jobs, that's how they end up saving taxes. Correct? And given they are creating jobs, they are essentially the ones who are running the country from corporate point of view, right? Now, that's how these establishments attach to a particular political ideology. So they will save on taxes. You would not, because you're not taking any risk. You're not making people work. You're just taking care of yourself. And out of that, you have basically given out just 15% of your earnings. And that's that. Okay? How do you think governments would do the rest of the stuff? Subsidies, bonds, ask people for their investment, and things like that. And that's what, I mean, this complex understanding of your earnings and your spends, that's how a vote should be decided. But that's also a capitalistic approach. That's how the vote is supposed to be decided. And that's how you should look at voting at somebody else. Anybody, in fact, whether it's Modi or it's not Modi, whether it's Gandhi or it's not Gandhi. It's that simple. What's my point? I just told you. That's the point. Given you do not know how to spend your stuff and how much you would earn in the future, you cannot vote for it. But for any government that is creating a congenial environment for you to sustainably grow, that's how you would think. That a face is not selling itself anymore. The functions and the results are selling. For the past 10 years, at least. I am not even saying it's all Modi Saab, right? That there is a huge structure, there are people. There are certain Babu log who are still in the structure, who are still leeching and mooching off of people's money, your taxes basically. and it's going in people's pocket. And then there are people who are just waiting for their pays to come out. That's that. So who would you vote for like that? Think in that direction. Not any brand. I mean, even if it is brand. Not the brand that basically means Bharat Jodo Yatra or Bharat Nyaya Yatra. That way. Are you saying we should vote for someone who provides an environment for growth and is capitalist? No, I'm not. You decide, is what I'm saying. If growth is what your focus is, focus on that. You've also said yourself that there is barely any what gets my vote? Functionality. If somebody who's a minister of a particular establishment, any ministry, whether it's related to cleanliness, Swachh Bharat mission that we have already seen so much, if a person is already functioning so well, and we have always seen that there is some sort of a rotation that is going on. Right now, I don't keep that close an eye on the political affairs that I wouldn't know every move, but I've seen the functions, the people who have basically addressed the issues. So building toilets across the villages, huge achievement. 100 million toilets. Can you imagine that? That should have been done over the past 60 years at least. That should have been done, but wasn't. Everybody was fighting for the power. What's the low bar to hit? Functions? Tell me how many functional specialists have you appointed as a minister so far? Building toilets is not a basic need. Here's your structure that goes wrong, and it's basically establishing a wrong wire in your head. Toilets are a basic need, but building them is a huge task. People haven't still sustainably achieved in India the use of toilets. Right? So, and people, given they still have that mental how do I say it? Mental wiring that paisa aa raha hai, kharch do. So people they were given handouts literally, and I saw that the handouts were given to people to either build the toilets, or they were told them to tell us where to build, and they will build where the infrastructure and the capabilities were available. Imagine that. And I'm not even sure if it's the right figure, but I think it was around 15,000 rupees per toilet. That's huge. It's good that they finally, after 70 years, they did some shit. Yeah, exactly. Is that what you praise? It's like your standards are really low. No, it's a standard for somebody else, right? For me, as a businessman, I could launch a business in less than a week if I have to. If an entrepreneur wants to launch a business, pehle, you have no idea how much. There's an obvious change, and then there is very unobvious change, unthinkable change. Most of the governments, most of the regimes have made the obvious change. 80% obvious, or maybe 90% obvious. Building toilets was never meant to be a government agenda. Why do you think? Why do you say that? So you're saying health and welfare is not part of the government agenda? Is that what you're saying? Then we'll go around saying that government doesn't take care of the health of the people. Is what would they do? Did you wait till the government build your toilet? No. I don't have to. I have the access. People who do not have the access, that's the balance that the government strikes, right? People should build their own toilets. Of course. But they don't have the capacities to, right? So that's what it is. For me, someone privileged is a very overused word. So that's something that I feel about that word. Overused. I don't look at such a low-hanging fruit like building public toilets that should have been done right. But that's what the masses are. You sitting in front of a screen, I sitting in front of a screen looking at the camera with a light on. We are less than 10%. There are people who haven't even seen what the toilet looks like. That's a huge achievement. And that's how it's supposed to be government's agenda. Health and welfare is, and this is welfare. And health at the same time. So, you have to understand. It's not a low-hanging fruit. But it's how it works. Why did it take them so long? You know how many villages are there in India? Have you worked in any structure? Any of the structures? Corporate, government, or private, or... Do you know how your money gets spent? Is it because they're corrupt or incompetent? No, the machinery is unnecessarily complicated. That's what it is. I'll tell you a story. So, essentially, when this was not possible earlier, people were not getting hired individually by certain establishments. Right? They were only hired through tenders or contracts like that. And to get into that line, it was very difficult. And that's how people would work with certain establishments, government and otherwise. But now it's a totally different scenario. People have worked in different ways with the government as well. We live in a small room. Though I was banging in a camera for a long time. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. See, your growth started early because your family took the initiative. But there are still people who do not know the bare minimum standard of life. What would you do about them? And given this was the onus of the government for a very long time, it became a problem. Now it's a public-private partnership. The government partners with private players, and that's what it is. And that's how they develop the money, deploy the money, and develop the infrastructure, even if it is politics. हमने सारे पुल और बांध तो देख ही लिए. That's also part of that thing. It took them 20, Japan got moved. 70 years, fam. Did it take China 70 years to build toilets or advance the economy to the top 2? That's what I'm saying, right? you have to understand. Did we have this sort of a political structure which had a majority? Yes. No. Before this happened, before this entire structure happened, this regime happened, do you know how broken the governments were? People are still trying to break it, which is the whole problem, right? But given it's not broken at least it's fairly patched. And we have to replace it with a new thing altogether. People don't understand that yet. Do you know how many people are still lining up their pockets with your tax money just by faking shit? The things that even I was shocked. Like, if I'm paying the Delhi government some money, and I'm not saying the center is scot-free, but Delhi government is right now creating fake people to line up their pockets. But that's what I saw. On a center level, I still see Babylon doing shit. And they are not getting caught because they know how to play the system. That's shit. It took them 20 years. Japan got nuked and still came back after 30 years. Because you know how so-called cutter the Japan was in terms of their own culture being preserved and their own culture they're being preserved, their own growth, and how they want to work with things as a democracy themselves. Korea, Indonesia, Vietnam are all better than us. Sure. But do you know why? Government should educate people to build toilets, and they always did that. People never took the initiative. Why do you say that? Nabi, why did people not do it? And those are the same people who are voting for the same government. Whichever government you say has taken the initiative to educate people. And why is that? And it's still it's still not sustainable. By the way, you saying that open defecation is what people choose over toilet use? Is that TU? Open defecation over TU because they don't have enough savings and they would like to save as well. That's what their reasoning is. But how much savings before they would basically build a toilet? Tell me, Hank. When was the time when did your grandfather and how did he take the decision of building a common toilet house? Since you said it. The government can't do such a basic job and people are praising them for after 70 years for doing it. It isn't hypocritical. No. This is the first time after 70 years the current regime has a majority vote. Use it significantly more than Kamara tribal or Adivasi group who were traditionally nomadic Chikadras and hunters but who are now also engaged in farming after being recently settled by the state. Yeah, they were literally put to being settled. I think they were not forced particularly, but they were actually put there as settled. Otherwise, they were nomadic. There is still, by the way, if you go to Gurgaon, there are certain families are still nomadic. They're still going around Banjara, if you will. And they defecate everywhere. And the children are playing in it. How do you teach them? And they fight on the streets. In Gurgaon. Posh area. What's retarded, Baba? $70 fan. What is 70 years fan? Aren't you scared what more will take 70 years? The younger generation would have become old. I knew people who not click on that study. People would not click on that study. Where is the click? There is no click. There is no link here, man. You want to share something you already know, you have to share it in Discord. Too big. It makes more sense. Chole Bhature khao and escape the matrix. That's the ultimate solution. Some variation exists along other axes such as occupation, peasant farming versus shopkeepers versus wage laborers, age and schooling, but not across gender. In short, we see a good deal of variation with a small geographical area. But the puzzle then is not only sluggish PU soil. Why should people not praise the government for doing a good job when you can openly criticize them for not doing a good job in something else? That's also true. It's supposed to be balanced. It took them it did. Ghost, you have to understand, and you have to understand properly. I'm pointing this out particularly because you're telling that you're going with an assumption that the government has been consistent. People have been the same throughout 70 years, or the people who have basically been in the government are either the same or they have literally appointed the same people after them. That's what the problem is. You're going by that assumption. It didn't take 70 years for a government to build the toilets. It took 10 years. Imagine that. It took 10 years. Imagine what we didn't do in 60 years before that. That's the math. Your math is wrong. You have to understand. This is the first time we have a stable government in 70 years, thanks to Ram. That's exactly what we are talking about. And it takes a lot of courage to do that. The media was still trying to topple it for some reason. Everybody thought that they could topple it. Media got toppled because apparently they could create Jan Akrosh, but eventually people who saw the light. It took them 10 years since when? Tell the years. 2014, buddy. It's today, I think, that 75% villages have declared themselves open defecation free. 2014, yes, 10 years. And 75% villages. Do you know how many villages do we have? Let's do a Google search. Let's do a Bing search. Google is stupid. Let's do number of villages in India. Do you want to see the number? You want to see the number? There it is. There it is.
Six lakh 64,369 villages.
I didn't say it. But there it is. Sorry. It's not showing properly. My bad. My bad. 6,64,369. It's not 664,000. Nope. As of 2019. That's how, even if we're making one toilet per village, imagine the number of toilets. Or let's just say 2 toilets at least. Villages, man. Villages में कितने लोग 20 लोग तो रहते होंगे, एक टॉयलेट यूज करेंगे. Let's put 4 toilets. Let's do the math. $69. Do you think these are the same people throughout 60 years as well? First question. Very interesting a question. You know, had Rahul Gandhi and his lineage before not fucked up like this, and they not been busy with, or let's just say, had the elite of the country had not been busy with the nonsense of hiding their wealth outside of the country, which apparently the elite was from the outside of the country, otherwise they would not do it. Had they not been busy hiding their wealth outside the country, they would have made the progress in literally 10 years after 10 to 20 years after our independence, and we would have literally nailed everything everywhere. What is happening right now could have happened in 1960s or 70s. Had they played the cards right. But given the governments before and the governments right now, it's a very functional government today. We have IAS officers, we have diplomats who are now heading the ministry. A former diplomat who knows his shit, knows how to do stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Even if a politician knows how to do his stuff, he's appointing the right people to do their right jobs. And that's how things are happening. It doesn't matter, it's such a basic need. Yeah, it's very easy to say it on a platform through a mobile on something. It's very easy to say, but it's also very easy to not understand how it functions. Try putting 100 rupees. It's very easy to say in front of a screen. But once you step out, like how Hack just mentioned, his family built it itself, right? They did it themselves. They chose because they were aware of things. That doesn't mean that other people were not. The other people just didn't choose. And people are still not choosing. 2024. हम तो पटरी पे भागते थे, बस करो यार. सरकार अच्छी होती पहले तो हो ना हो that टुकड़ा. True, very true. This is not lower standards. This is comprehensive understanding of how your vote should function. It's very simple. And this being a comprehensive, now the rights. Rights are also part of the anti-establishment thing. People will not condemn that for some reason. The same people who would condemn the pro-cult. I don't know. It's crazy. I might sound like I'm a pro-current regime. Even if I am or not, doesn't matter. There are still corrupt people in the machinery who are basically taking care of that. Because Babu log would not leave their power. And they know their power. Even if the people above them hate them, they still can't be transferred. Moved around. Congress use the person for their benefits and they offer part of India after that they assassinated. Who are we talking about exactly? Indira wala? Yeah. And Congress used the person for the benefits, then they offer of part of India after they assassinate. After that they assassinate. Makes sense. Flags were arranged by the government. That's how they wanted it to happen. Toilets were just one part of what I would like for people out of my vote. 100 rupees. So if my 15 rupees if I'm spending on people's welfare, and out of that 5 rupees go to the building of toilets, I'm more than happy. Yeah, so just to sum up, since we started with this topic, 100 rupees is what we are willing to spend on us. Out of which 15 we are willing to spend on other people without asking for anything in return. That's welfare, correct? Now, out of that 15 rupees, we have to build toilets which were not there for people who were basically unaware of the concept of toilets. People who are aware, they built themselves. First, my toilet was pre-built. I didn't have to build, or I didn't have to ask for money. And also the defecation issue and the whole waste management issue would never have been a point, right? मेरे लिए बनवा दो, sure, आजा, कहाँ आग रहा है? So, the whole machinery of open defecation is not just about defecation, man. It's also about waste management. This motherfucker. Is it still loud? Yes. Do you hear the grill? There is sludge management. ये भोसड़ी का मुझे बोलने नहीं देगा. So, there is sludge management. Then there is menstrual waste. There is plastic waste, which is also part of your toilet uses, in some places at least. And what else? A couple of topics that they've covered. Fecal sludge management, grey water management, what else? Couple of them, right? So grey water is something that I also learned later. पानी पूरी भाई क्यों मुंह खराब कर रहा है यार? Gee, man. All of these things happen. And these are the structures that are practically absent, absolutely absent. And if you can't praise them for that, then how do you plan to spend those 15 rupees on welfare is what I want to know. I like that combination of emojis, man. This is so cool. 15 की गोदाम गरम. बात खत्म. 15 की आती है, 10 की आती है. Anyway, we're not discussing that. But that's something that is always there. So, hey, okay. So now speaking of censorship, people are being accountable for what they are. Society bhi char puff maar li. Had we been Jamaica, I think that would have made more sense. So we're not. That's the sad part, no? Not sponsored. Yes. Near record drop, man. We went to what, 4 degrees? Are you fucking kidding me? How are we are घर में तो खैर I can just do this ones. Discord games? No. We're just watching stuff. Let's do some chess if you want to, but later. Is it cold in there? It's 4 degrees, man. Just to sum up, the math was wrong. So, 10 years to build at least 6,64,369. Wasn't that the number? 6. Yes, I didn't even look at it. It's still here. ये भैया न्यू लैंड सरकार बनाने की कोशिश में सबसे पहला मंत्री तेरे को अपॉइंट कर रहा हूँ मैं. अब बता, बनेगा नहीं बनेगा लैंडा मंत्री? सबसे पहले तेरे को अपॉइंटमेंट लैंडा मंत्री. What are the current headlines for today? Everything you need to know about hotspots in Fortnite. 4 दिन पुरानी बासी न्यूज़. We may be small, but no one has license to bully. Aha. This is where we were. Setting Fallout, blah blah blah, best Naruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm games. Oh, Pawan Naidu made a peanut butter. Okay. You think? Now, what would you call these guys? I just don't understand. High voltage caffeine coffee. सब पता है आपको क्या पीना है मुझे. Oh, sorry. We may be small, but no one has license to bully us. Maldives President Ahmed row with India. इनके यहाँ प्रेसिडेंट होता है. Returning from his high-profile 5-day state visit to China, Maldives President. Took an apparent dig at India. Returning. Timing बढ़िया एकदम. Emphasizing that the size of his nation doesn't grant others the authority to bully them. a diplomatic dispute with India over derogatory social posts by 3 Maldivian ministers targeting Prime Minister Modi. Buddy, you started it. Don't start something that you cannot handle. First ungli and then play victim, ऐसे नहीं हो सकता. That's the case with most dog haters anyway. So no. We are very nice doggies. India is. We are very, very nice doggies. I won't say India is the country of doggies, but there are other animals too. But India, most people in India are like very nice, loyal doggies. Nobody fucks with us and we love everybody. It's that simple. Get it, don't get it, that's your problem. That's one. People of India are boycotting their own on their own, right? So that's the funda that I'm trying to understand. They started it. मोदी साहब ने तो अपने हैंडल से डाली, टीम डालती है. ऑफ कोर्स मोदी साहब खुद तो करते नहीं है, ये सब नहीं करने बैठेंगे. तो ऑफ कोर्स उन्होंने डाली. ऊपर से भाई साहब के अंडरलिंग्स ने जाके बोला The ocean is swimming in itself called Indian Ocean. वो भी है. Plus who started it is what I want to understand. उंगली किसने किया? ने किया? Yes? No? उंगली किसने किया? उंगली तूने किया. वो भी तेरे 3 बंदों ने किया है. अब तेरे 3 बंदों ने तो किया, उसमें से भी हम में से किसी ने वापस तो कुछ कहा नहीं. उन्होंने सिर्फ बोला कि हमारे बंदे को कुछ मत बोलो यार. लेकिन उसके बाद भी सॉरी किसी ने नहीं बोला. इमेजिन दैट बीइंग दैट एरोगेंट. बट देन गवर्नमेंट सस्पेंडेड देम indefinitely or definitely. उसका कुछ भरोसा है, कुछ पता नहीं. On papers they got suspended. Now functionally if they're still associated, I don't know. इसी ने किया. उससे पहले इंडिया आउट स्लोगन लगा के ले लो. वो तो इंडिया आउट स्लोगन तो लगाया, साथ में ये किया, उसके बाद ये कर रहे हैं. All we had to do was cancel our tickets to your place, just so that you could be jolted to reality. कुछ टिकट कैंसिल करने में इतना वो हो गया. अगर बदतमीजी करनी होती तो क्या होता? We didn't even look your way. That's what happens when Gypsy Hazel and I are walking on the street as well. We don't even look at people's way and people start shouting, oh मार दिया, oh काट लेगी, oh ये, oh यो. इन चाइना के सपोर्ट को देख के बोल रहा है पाकिस्तान. Yeah. That's the thing. But that's also, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not out of his mind like that. And that's what it is. From Kannada, I don't know. Karnataka, you mean? I'm not sure. Ank is not from Karnataka. So. Close by though. think dogs are better, man. Why are you abusing dogs? Dogs are better. Even if Chinese people eat dogs, they also are exiting, by the way. They recently passed the legislation which basically bans the consumption and trafficking of dogs. Which is something super cool. Whether it is out of their and to implement this, the best in fact, to implement this, the best or the worst, I don't know. They have given a timeline of 3 years. Canada, Canada, yeah. 3 साल बहुत है ट्रांजिशन के लिए. 1 साल में हो जाना चाहिए. But imagine the scale of consumption of dogs in China. There was a white comment by the way. Not my personal opinion. Or am I affiliated to someone from Austria? Doesn't matter. I don't know why Austria hates dogs, man. Netherlands loves dogs. Netherlands is like a dog heaven. And heaven. Both. That's crazy. Now you can hear this motherfucker. The one who must not be named. Who doesn't have a name. Pusillanimous guy. Literally a pusillanimous guy. Then who must not be named, who cannot be named because he doesn't have any. I don't want to be a phobic, but doesn't China not like Muslims? Yeah. But they've always used them as human shield. At least so far. Political shield. At least so far. At least so far that's been the narrative even in the news headlines. That's what I'm repeating. Why is this 8-bit also sounding Chinese all of a sudden? We'll do that. जबरदस्ती का हिसाब किताब है. Then on to the next one. But this is, I don't know why. At the risk of getting another threat. I don't know why this happens, man. Kill pun plot charge against what? Indian national bogus. Senator reports claim US refused to produce proof in court. They're still wearing masks? This is reportedly refused to produce evidence in kill Pandun plot case. Very strange. ये पूरी 3 मिनट की वीडियो नहीं देख रहा मैं. Trump blasts friend and foe. Vivek Ramaswamy ahead of caucus seat full. एक वर्ड से ब्लास्ट कर दिया उसे. Bastard. Vivek ahead of his crucial caucuses contest. Trump has asked voters to not waste their vote by supporting the biotech mogul. Vivek has been campaigning in Iowa for past few days, however, Trump reached the Midwest on Saturday. Of course. While denouncing Ramaswamy as not a MAGA, he doesn't have much, of course. Trump took to his self-owned platform Truth Social. He owns a platform called Truth Social. There was Gad that Vivek started his campaign as a great supporter, the best president in generations, etc. Unfortunately, not all he does is disguise his support. What? Form of receipt. Or now all he does is disguise his support in the form of interest. Oh. Not to know that. Why did we go all the way down before? Arey bhai. Something called Truth Social. I did not know that. It's literally Twitter. What the heck? Truth Social is America's big tent social media platform that encourages an open, free, and honest global conversation without discriminating on the basis of political act. Owned by a politician. One thing that this has. What do you think of Ramaswamy? Good for America or good for India? I think it's a balanced guy. Good for both. But he's also a person who's into biotech, right? So, not that it contrasts, but still, I don't know. Who would you choose? A capitalist who knows how to spend money? Or an activist who knows how to identify problems and find solutions? Not that there is a contrast, but I'm just asking for a personality to be chosen. Who would you do that? I like how he delivers and he has created a stance for himself, but I am curious to know, why do people in general think that people like Ramaswamy, Rishi, and Sundar would be any good for India? I don't know. I think it basically means everybody thinks Indians are communist. I don't know why. Or any, yeah, basically, oh, you're Indian, what's up, bro? Kya hal chal? And conversation flips into Hindi instead of English or any other language. That's what I think happens in people's heads, at least. And also, Rishi has done more damage to India, I think, but also he has created like a strong support, not so strong support, but a strong relationship with India again. Even in G20, he didn't throw around tantrums, and after that, thankfully. Not like how Drew did. Drew has almost the same or probably more amount of Indians in his country than Rishi. Think about it. हम सीधा बैठ देंगे ना सारे समोसे खाने एक साथ ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. Why is this screen flickering? This is the first time in a long time the idea of why is this flickering again? The idea of being a country's own has triumphed over having a democracy in India, at least. Sorry, not democracy, but secularism. Being secular. That wasn't the case, I think, earlier. Or was it? I am curious to know. These guys left India, became citizens of other countries, became rich and successful there. They want to be accepted by the people of that country, so they will. Are you planning to do the same hack? हाई वोल्टेज कैफीन में मक्खन क्यों डाला हुआ है लेकिन? I told you that I'm coming back. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. या बुन फाड़ते हैं. सही बात. तू ट्रम्प है रामस्वामी. Friend turn foe. Is taking his telecom playbook to the neighborhood? Really? Now we can call Pakistan as well? Oh, Bang is saying, oh, nice. Dude, look at this. Geo platforms. My stake in Sri Lanka Telecom. श्रीलंका टेलीकॉम में पैसा डाल रहे हैं और उन्होंने हमारी पैंट खींच के बोल दिया है कि भैया बचा लो हमें, हम चाइना के मनी प्रिजन में फंस गए. That's what has happened. कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग हेडलाइंस नहीं है आज की क्या? एक तो ये भड़वे की जात इतना जोर से ड्रिल कर रहा है ना, ये भी नहीं कि कपड़ा कुपड़ा लगा ले, डैम्पनर लगा ले, कुछ नहीं. एक तो वैसे यहाँ पे कोई कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं पता है सोच कंस्ट्रक्शन के मामले में. अब सेम केस आई थिंक विद टॉयलेट्स, कमिंग बैक टू द सेम थिंग. There's a game called Reversi Multiplayer. There's also a Ludo in MSN.
In other news, a vase purchased for $3.99 sold for more than $100,000 at auction.
Seriously? ये कहाँ है? देखिए जरा, रुको जरा, सब्र करो. Goodwill was Array was by Italian architect Carlo Scarpa was sold in the Edwards purchase for just wow. Was is a part of Scarpa's pendulate. Scarpa's pendulate is for Venini, produced in 1942, and is one of the rarest pieces offered by the Wright auction house in more than a decade. The vase is made of glass and has thin red streaks, which are achieved by adding colored opaque glass while the piece is being blown. The panel technique used to create this vase was difficult to make, so the numbers are low. Do you have mankind divided? What does that mean? So why was it sold? What? The technique used to create this vase was difficult to make. Is it obsolete a technique? This was the vase. When she returned home from the Goodwill thrift store, glass identification, learn more about the vase. Some members. यार इतना तो मैं कभी नहीं किया. मैं सामान ला के रख दिया, फेंक दिया, आज तक तो यूज किया नहीं. मैं उसका ग्रुप ज्वाइन करूंगा बैठ के. वाओ. Right away to Richard Wright, the president of the auction. The vase was auctioned for. No, thankfully she did not die. Why are you killing a person for an auction, man? The person can live and still auction it. Like how this person Sam Pitroda was criticizing Narendra Modi to be alive and have a stadium in his name. मरना ही पड़ेगा. कितना जबरदस्ती है. जिंदगी में बना दो यार. That's how you pay tribute. बंदे को खुशी भी होती है. मरना जरूरी है क्या? Why is this like a शाहजहां ideology or mindset? I want to know. मरने के बाद बनाया, पहले बना देता. खुश रहती वो बेचारी. हंसोगी यार. नहीं आएगी. लिंक्स नहीं आती हैं. चीचा तुम ज्यादा सियाने बने. नहीं हुआ. उधर ही डाल. कटाना तेरा. कैसी लगी तेरे को?
In other news, Puking Bird wins New Zealand bird competition after John Oliver campaign.
Puking Bird. Offbeat ज्यादा पड़ता तो. Puking Bird. Teke. Yeah, that doesn't mean I want to know about puke. I wanted to talk about video games probably. Before you buy POP देखना था ना, उसने इसने ये वो वाली लिंक डाली नहीं है. Wins after John Oliver campaign.
This should be apt from our earlier discussion. 4 men charged over theft of $6 ml gold toilet from English Palace.
Which is what? The discussion that चोर के घर में चोरी हुई. इसमें डिस्कशन क्या है? चोर के घर में चोरी हुई टट्टी की. पहले तो उसमें हागेगा कौन, और हक भी दिया तो साफ कौन करेगा. मतलब दुनिया में मैंने जब केसेस सुने हैं वो यही सुने कि मेरी सोने की ब्रेसलेट थी या सोने की चेन थी, सोने का ब्रेसलेट था, सोने का कुछ होगा, कड़ा बूढ़ा होगा. कड़ा तो खैर गिरता नहीं है, लेकिन मैं टट्टी करके उठा, मैंने देखा तो मेरा गिर गया. दैट मेक्स मोर सेंस. And that's how I had to dip my hand and clean it out and boil it and whatnot. Boil तो करना बहुत ही कम लोगों का होता है, but boil it to cleanliness and whatever. But साले जब कमोड टॉयलेट का हो तो कौन साफ करेगा यार? जब भागना हो तो मैं नहीं देखूंगा कि कमोड सोने की है सिरेमिक की, देखना पड़ेगा. When it's Canada or it's Finland and it's -20, you have to see it. सोने पे ज्यादा जोर से लगेगी. बिना उसके नहीं चलेगा. सिरेमिक में फिर ठंडा कम होएगा, सोने में ज्यादा ठंडा होएगा. पहला कान पे लगेगी ना एकदम से ठंड, then you'll say handle on. मैडम जी उड़ गई हैं दोनों. What more fun? गेमिंग में क्या है दिखाएं जरा. It was there in some Mr. Bean skit. मेरे तो दिमाग में सिर्फ यही आया है. I never thought of it anyway otherwise. मेरे दिमाग में सबसे पहली चीज़ आई, अभी जैसे ठंड है, 4 डिग्री 5 डिग्री चल रहा है, 5 डिग्री का फॉग है बार बार, इमेजिन. एंड उसमें मैं हगने बैठूं, इसमें गांड फट जाती है प्लास्टिक में. ये तो बहुत दूर की बात है, हद होगी. Or leaked weapons coming to Apex Legends. Are people playing this game? It's season 20. Appreciate जरूर करना पड़ेगा भैंस की. People are actually playing. Among Us Fortnite map codes. No. अच्छा उन्होंने फिर एक बना दिया Among Us the Scaled. They actually made it. Wow. Babu, you'll have to put it in reaction time going forward, because you're posting it on wall. Reaction time is the channel right after this enclave. It's called the Continental. There is a channel called Reaction Time. We put all of these to watch there. So that being that, I'm also putting this theme playlist there. Lush. It doesn't generate anything.
back with another episode of Before.
You're also on YouTube, man. What do you watch? Okay, let's watch it like this. What do you watch it?
Before you buy that show, we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. As usual, it's me, Jake, and before you buy of 2024. Hope you guys are doing.
This is the side scroller.
Coming around.
Oh,
Today we're talking about Prince of Persia: The Lost.
Sands of Time.
The Prince of Persia franchise is
Oh, The
back,
Last Crown.
Sorta. You know, you're not the prince. This is an all-new adventure set in Persian mythology, and it's actually really great. A surprise for January, like a good way to start the year if you like classic Prince of Persia or Metroidvanias. And just so you know,
Oh, yeah?
before we get into it, we've been playing a review copy from Ubisoft, and this footage here is spoiler-free. Anything story you see here is just in the first few hours. And
What do I think of the
also,
gameplay?
this footage was captured
It's
on
side scroller, so
PS5,
it's okay. It's fun.
but our, capture
Like Prince of
equipment
Persia
broke
Classic
last minute
was like this
when
only.
making this video, so the quality is going to be a bit lower. I
Look at that.
apologize. I
Going
got
3D and
capture
coming back.
cards. I feel like they all break. They're all faulty, especially from that one company. Anyway, this is an interesting game. I was skeptical because it looked
And
like a
graphics are
spin-off
okay.
or a reboot into something else. You know,
It's
like I
built by a studio. Like we have discussed earlier as well. It was built by a studio that does not do PC games. They're doing mobile games, and they
said,
did
you're
what
not
they
the
did
classic
best.
Prince of Persia.
Something like Raji is also in the same league, right? Almost, at least, but it still has like a bird's eye view of the character. This is side scrolling practically, but I like it. I like the fact that
You're an
they've
immortal
done something.
kind of badass warrior avenger, part of a group with the whole plot centered around Persian myth and fantasy. At first, I was like, why this instead of a mainline Prince of Persia game? Well,
Like we've always seen
I
Dastan,
think
if I'm
that
not
this could
wrong.
be a good direction for the series, gameplay-wise. It feels different than your average Ubisoft game. It's
Yeah.
not an endless open world. It's just an enjoyable, challenging adventure that comes in at a lesser price and will take you like 20,
Lesser price is 3,000 rupees, by the way. That's not fun.
30 hours, depending on how you play. Now, the main character, the player character, is Sargon, a young, powerful badass tasked with rescuing a kidnapped prince in an ancient Persia. It's a fantasy world. There are monsters,
like that.
creatures, gods. He's super powered. He can kind of go Super Saiyan. You go with it.
Pele hero was supposed to be the Prince of Persia. Now it's a whole different story.
Combat and traversal that allow you to get to new areas of the map and journey further. The character is fast with sprints and slides and dashes and more.
Bro, no.
And you can die in just a couple of hits or falling into a spike trap, and it can all be
That's
intense and challenging. Thankfully, the game gives you lots of difficulty modes and
that's
accessibility
just not.
options.
This is a game from Ubisoft, not a mobile dev. Their studio is. I know it's from Ubisoft, but it's
with the combat.
Pune
Slide on
is.
characters, you do strikes,
Pune,
hard hits, you
they
hit them up in the
do
air, jump
mobile
over,
games more than
slam them
anything else.
back down.
They're also taking care of the.
You can also build up a kind of super meter and spend it on 2 mapped unlockable special attacks like a healing bubble, a big powerful hit,
They did the
ranged blast.
mobile games for
It feels
Division and everything,
incredibly
and
smooth
R6 as well.
responsive. Like not once did I fiddle with the controls or
Pune
have
did.
any issues.
This is a
at all.
Pune thing. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Developer. Oh, it's Montreal. But it was Pune, I thought. No way. It's not even Montreal, it's fucking. It is Montreal, my man. Is it Montreal or it's Montpellier? Mapuse. It shows both, so I don't know. Anyway, point. Wow. Wikipedia. तो ये इनका ये AI इतना तेजस्वी काहे है बे? It's 2.5D platformer, makes sense. Getting back to this 2.5D platformer, I mean practically 2.5D, but they would not acknowledge it that way, I think. Not sure.
Other than just my own skill or lack thereof. There's like one frequent use ability mapped to R3, or clicking the right stick that felt a little weird, but otherwise, buttery smooth controls and the game
अगर old style का खेला तो
smooth and tight. And for those special
हो जाएगा.
abilities from the meter on, there are some cool ones to unlock, but I did find myself kind of just
Sands of Time remake. Yeah. Okay. Ah. Makes sense.
taking the ones I liked early on and stuck with them for a lot of the game. You can I buried the lead here. You can also parry certain attacks. The parry window is very small, sometimes brutally so. But when you
Makes sense.
it feels so good and satisfying, especially because when certain do a special attack, if you parry that one just right, you'll get an instant kill with a really cool in-game finisher animation. The clang of a parry, the flash, all of it is really well done and ties into what I said before, super smooth, buttery gameplay. And with those finishing animations,
Makes sense.
with style in the presentation, and as the story as a whole didn't really do too much for me personally, that might be a negative for some people, but at the very least, when the action ramps up, whether it be a big cutscene or the climax or like a mid-phase of a boss battle, the presentation and style more than makes up for those drawbacks, the story drawbacks. Like the way Sargon will shout or start glowing blue,
Nice.
powering up, and how the camera
This is nice.
speeds up as he flings into action. The background turns a solid color. The game uses all these brilliant anime-inspired tricks to
Hack and slash बन गए वैसे मोस्टली इतनी तो नहीं थी पहले. बहुत obvious सी बन गई है. Bad reviews, so it went back to Montreal, I think. Looks like a mobile game, yeah.
really make things look and feel cool and just like exciting as hell. As for the Metroidvania exploration elements, the base of it is what you'd expect, you know? Lots of different kinds of biomes you work through, some better than others, with their own dangers and enemy types and puzzles. Enemy types I really enjoy.
This is something that I think would have been fun for in the case of a 3D platformer.
Platforming though, I absolutely love, dude. It's like an old school Prince of Persia through and through. You're running, you're jumping.
Yeah, I mean old school, yes.
Avoiding booby traps and spike pits and spinning blades. It's perfect
But
and challenging and
मजा आएगा.
it gets even better as it goes with more abilities and time manipulation, because this is still like a Prince of Persia game. Some of the trickier platforming and environment puzzles in this game kind of pushed my simple brain, and I really like that. I could see some people getting a little frustrated with some. It can be a lot to wrap your head around. Maybe it was just me, but like
This could have been like a good 3D platformer, honestly.
Sequencing things out while
Look
also
at this.
trying to figure out a puzzle, and sometimes also
But they wanted to
or enemies at the same time.
not get into the graphics game and they wanted to be backwards compatible. Makes more sense.
Squeezing my controller, and you're encouraged to explore because a lot of times the game will like make you go somewhere, you unlock something, and then to get to the next part of the game, you have to backtrack to the beginning of the game and open up a new area. You know, that type of stuff. But on the side, you're encouraged to explore,
Not bad.
revisit, in that Metroidvania style to find new stuff, hidden secrets, and also there are some side quests. The side quests are mostly like someone telling you to go collect something, but usually they open up and then you don't really get to them until later on.
Feels like a mobile game altogether.
It opens up, but still,
Yeah, makes more sense.
you're really just going around to try and find stuff and better your character, right? There are collectibles that give you a bit of reading. They weren't too exciting, but there are also different currencies and items of different rarity to spend at a shop and at a mythical weapons forge.
Okay,
So you're
for example, this.
increasing a shop
This.
and
You see the wall
currencies and
wall
items
running?
of different rarity to spend.
Okay. It's a hypothetical, like, it doesn't make any sense. It wasn't fun. The old ones still were fun.
Shop and at a mythical weapons forge. So you're increasing your attack power, your capacities, you're buying different trinkets that will help you.
I mean, realism की बात नहीं कर रहा. Realism was already out of the window, but still, something at least.
Stuff like that. And as you progress, you do find and also buy these charms for your necklace that can stack to give you a bit like a poison resistance, an extra hit in your melee combo, faster special attack charging, and some of these can get really interesting. It's a little bit like a light character build because the capacity of your necklace only has so much, and some of these little medallions will take up more slots than others. So you have some options, and some of them can also just help make the game a little bit easier if you're struggling too. And when you're exploring, there's
What
a
is this,
map
I?
that's pretty easy to read and it's accessible quickly. You know, it's pretty instant, which is good.
Yeah, I played Chronicles. It felt like it.
Metroid Dread, there's that. But here, the game gives you an ability to, at any time in a room, hit a button, like it's like down on the D-pad, that takes a
But you also have to understand, no? I mean, that game is part of a game and the universes that were already 3D. So you let people think a little, at least, how would this look in 3D? Also, people can still switch, and you will not be going out of the franchise. This not so much.
screenshot of the room in game and saves it to be highlighted on that part of the map. So if there's like a hidden chest up high that you can't reach yet, hit a button and then the game instantly
मुझे
saves a little screenshot.
3000 रुपए इस पे
right
खर्च
on
करने
the
में
map. That's easy to find later
थोड़ा सा
on, like you can
बुरा
hover
लगेगा.
over it, so you
थोड़ा
can like
सा.
keep track of things. It's a really solid feature, and it sounds like it's not a big deal, but it's very cool and useful.
Must
And
have
I
innovated
think
somewhere, I
the
think.
Metroidvania
Makes sense.
nerds are gonna really like how this is implemented. So really, if you can't tell, I have a lot of good things to say about this one. It's a genre where there are definitely plenty of entries out there. There are a lot of
Before I go on, I want to check if the YouTube is still working. फिर बैंस की अगर स्ट्राइक आ गई तो रोने निकल जाएंगे मेरे. Still going on successfully. Have you guys subscribed to the YouTube channel? I think I'll do some YouTube only streams going forward, like even far in between, but I'll make sure those are, because we need to get closer to the 4,000 watch hours. Also, if you guys would like to watch the old streams, I can put the link in the Discord server. You can have some fun while I'm away.
Not bad, just a bit forgettable in a lot of chunks. It has a lot of cool ideas, and it's clearly excited about its lore, but it doesn't quite land with all of it. And I think that's the big negative of the game, but that's just for me. You might enjoy it a little bit more. Sargon as a character is pretty appealing, so there's aspects of it, but yeah, the gameplay is the best thing about this whole thing. It's buttery smooth, fun, challenging. The action and platforming is top notch, and I had fun. That's the bottom line. I'd love to see this style of game, like this style of gameplay here, this Prince of Persia combat, this platforming, this continue moving forward. I'd love to see more Prince of Persia Lost Crown games after this. And that's a good feeling. And again, a pretty good way to start a gaming year. But of course,
For anybody who's missing out particularly, but missing on the old Prince of Persia, then yeah. But sticking to, literally rehashing the entire lore of a franchise, not so much, man. I would not like that. I just hate that. Firewatch. There were 2-3 games that I put in my thingy. Did you guys get Arctico? Very, very nice. There's still Firewatch is also a good game. Story rich. Also first person only.
I found a little trowel. Maybe I should take it with me. Use it to pop open beers. Wow.
Did what? That failed completely. With the side scroller, the POP remake as well, yeah. I still have it. With that cell shading comic book style sort of an art. Yeah. It was still 3D, you could have used that as a reference point. They didn't do shit with it. Sort of a cell shading style art. Montreal also did that, right? Montreal probably. Practically. Forgotten Sands is also Two Thrones. Kudosoft. Yeah, Kudosoft became Montreal or what? I don't know, man. $3,000 for a game like this. Although it's from a AAA studio. Not so much, man. Didn't like it one bit. But I think in the near future, probably the next stream, which would happen later today, most likely. Let's do it on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, let's do it on YouTube essentially because YouTube our Twitch is monetized and we want to monetize YouTube as well. And when that is something, that I want to get started with. Might as well focus there. Shall we? Also, I'll put in the links. I'll put in the old streams if you would like to watch. Yeah. I don't know if you guys would, but there are certain highlights from those that we can revisit as well while we wait for the new GP to arrive. Not that I've ordered it yet. I want to. GT. PUBG is also crazy now. Nice. Looks nice. Okay then. I'll be back. I need to take the bachus out for a walk. They are happily sleeping for some reason. Now that it's warm outside. It's 6 degrees in the daytime. I'll be back. I'll see you guys on YouTube as well, okay? I'll let you know the next steps. In case we are switching over to YouTube. On Discord. See you in a bit.